Good morning. Welcome to Creative Living Fellowship Pre-Service Meditation. I am Rhonda Emmerich, and I am a licensed practitioner with Creative Living Fellowship. I am so thankful that you're here with me this morning for meditation. Please join me in getting comfortable in your seat. Let's close our eyes. Take a couple deep breaths. And just start relaxing our bodies, opening our minds, opening our hearts, just allowing our minds, allowing our hearts to be filled with love, with joy, with gratitude. We start relaxing our bodies, starting with our toes, the very tips of our toes. Start relaxing our toes, our feet, letting that relaxation move on up our bodies, going up our ankles, through our legs, up through the calves, the knees, our thighs, just letting our legs become very light and relaxed. And take one more deep breath. And as we release that breath, let the relaxation move on up our torsos, up through our shoulders, just feeling the relaxation going down through our arms, our wrists, our hands, our fingertips, just letting our arms hang by our side very lightly. And feel the tension releasing from our neck, relaxing our face muscles. With complete relaxed bodies, open minds, open hearts. Let's focus on love. Let's focus on gratitude. Focus on joy. Focus on all the good that we desire as we rest in the silence. Now, with the sound of the chimes, we bring our awareness back to the space, opening our eyes, wiggling our fingers, our toes, just becoming aware of this very moment. So we focus on the love, the gratitude, the peace, the joy that we have filled in our hearts and our minds. Thank you so much for joining me. Our service will begin at 10 a.m. Namaste.
Good morning. And free online Sunday service. Please join us in our opening song, Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Creative Living Fellowship. I am the Reverend Dr. Sherry F. McCreary. I am the senior minister here, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here. We are an independent religious science church, and our deepest intention is to be a community of love, of care, of connection that opens hearts expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and the practices of the science of mind. We have an exciting program today. We have an exciting day, really. Today we're welcoming new members into the Creative Living Fellowship community. We'll do that later on in the service today. And then today is our Community Visioning Day. So we have started monthly community visioning, and it's really exciting that we are all taking part in that. So that'll be coming up later also. I'd like to thank Rhonda Emmerich for our pre-service meditation today. Thank you very much, Rhonda, for your service today. And I'd like to recognize our Sunday service team as usual. Our Sunday service director is Nicole Jordan. I always want to call her the music director, but she's a Sunday service director. And the assistant director, of course, is Deb Covington. And they both are jills of all trade, but I'm really, really happy that they are serving in the capacity that they serve this community so well, so well. Our tech support today is practitioner Reverend Mary Jane Hyde. And I thank you for your service also. We have two practitioners who are holding the high watch, which means that they're sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, just holding a space for the perfect unfolding of this service today. And they are practitioner Fran Peck and practitioner Jeannie Sarverns. And I thank them both for their service here today also. I'm really excited that our musical inspiration, this favorite friend, Esther Nicholson, who has been a favorite friend of mine for many, many years. We were at Agape and the Agape Choir together many, many years ago, and she is our musical inspiration today. So we welcome Esther Nicholson back here today. She'll be with us a little bit later. Nicole's going to bring us the announcements, and following the announcements, there will be a brief gong wash, and after the gong wash, there will be a few moments of silence, and then practitioner Monica Zickas will bring us our reading and our opening prayer. And when Monica brings the reading, I will ask that you just allow the words of the reading to just find a resting place in your hearts and in your minds, and just really take in the reading today. And then, of course, taking in the prayer also. So let's take a breath now, because Nicole's going to bring us the announcements. Thank you.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. It is a very exciting Sunday today. And as always, I am so happy to be here to bring you today's announcements. Meditation is a great mindfulness practice that helps us to be present in the now. Why not join us for midday meditation throughout the week to start or support your midday or your meditation practice? Midday meditation is at noon, Monday through Friday. We also hold a 20-minute pre-service meditation on Sundays at 9:35 a.m. Join us for any of these meditations through our Facebook and YouTube live streams or in Zoom. And speaking of spiritual practices, join Reverend Jorge every Monday evening and dive deep into the heart of practicing science of mind principles. Say yes to this weekly invitation to apply Sunday messages and lessons to your day-to-day life. Using the practices of contemplation, prayer, and introspection, open up to see beyond your boundaries and self-interest and transform your consciousness. You can participate in Monday practice with Reverend Jorge through our Facebook and YouTube live streams at 6:30 p.m. Get your community care and connection on with your CLF family and Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Zoom meeting at 6:30 p.m. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading Conscious Conversation. If you would like to suggest a conversation topic or activity, please send her an email at connect@creativelivingfellowship.com. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. The Ernest Holmes book study is starting back this Saturday, September 25th, with a new book. Just what are we? What is the source of our existence? What is the nature of that thing called thought? These three great enigmas have always faced us, and our whole life is colored and controlled by the way we answer these questions. In the next 6-week book study, we will be reading Ernest Holmes' Know Yourself, You are more than you think, and addressing these questions. So please read the first 3 chapters and join facilitator Reverend Mary Jane Hyde on Saturdays for heartfelt discussion starting September 25th. Know Yourself, You Are More Than You Think is available in digital format from Science of Mind archives for $8. Remember, you can use text to give to make your contributions to CLF. Simply, that's all of a sudden a tongue twister. Simply text the amount you'd like to give to 602-610-1868. If it's your first time donating by text, you'll be sent a link to set up your account. And after that, it's as easy as texting the amount you would like to tithe to 602-610-1868. Our Sunday prayer room is available to you after service today. Get your after service prayer with a practitioner by heading on over to Zoom using the link provided in the comments. Prayer room participants are transferred into a breakout room for a private and confidential session with one of our licensed practitioners. There is no fellowship today as we are having our monthly community visioning. Creative Living Fellowship is a divine idea in the mind of God. That idea is seeking to be revealed to and expressed through each of us in the CLF community as we continue to expand and move forward. When we engage in the sacred practice of visioning together, we open up to make ourselves available to catch God's vision or idea for Creative Living Fellowship. And we develop a greater sense of community, our role in it, and our connection to the whole. So join us at 11:30 today as Reverend Sherry leads us in the visioning process and learn how God wants to show up through you as Creative Living Fellowship. You can find the link for the visioning and other events in the comments on our website under events, under our Facebook events, posted in the comments, or in your weekly newsletter. This goes for all of our other events as well. And one final note for attending our visioning. You will be asked to type in your input, so make sure you show up on a device where you can easily type in. And that is it for today's announcements. It is time to move on to our gong wash, followed by a moment of silence.
Today's reading is entitled, I See with the Eyes of God, and it's taken from 365 SOM, A Year of Daily Wisdom from Ernest Holmes, July 17th. The ancients said that there is an all-seeing eye, and that if we could cause our physical eyes to see with this vision, we should be looking at things as they really are. But is it not true that too often we see with a blurred vision because we are so confused mentally? The all-seeing eye of God, by its very nature, being one and only, must forever see things as they really are. This is why Jesus said to judge not according to appearances, but to judge righteously. We cannot expect to draw a pattern of this right seeing from the objective world of confusion or our inner thoughts of doubt and fear. Therefore, we are told to see and act according to the pattern shewed to thee in the mount. That is, we are to look and think independently of the confusion around us. We are to view everything as we feel the divine, infinite, and perfect being must know and understand its own creation to be. This is seeing with the eyes of God. Today, I am seeing with the eyes of the divine. I am looking at things in a perfect and direct way. I am seeing through confusion to peace, through doubt to certainty, through fear to faith. Quietly then, I review myself, those around me, and everything that occupies my attention, bringing them all a broader vision, a deeper insight, a more complete perspective of the infinite harmony that I know is in the back of, in, and through everything that God has made. I am keeping my eye to this one truth. What God has done is good. Therefore, my experiences are good. What God has created is wonderful. Therefore, I am surrounded with good. In calm judgment, then, I sit quietly within myself and in my imagination, look around and see everything according to the divine pattern. As I do this, everything that I look upon shall be transformed and reborn. As we take a deep breath together, let us all remember that there's only the one mind in which we live and breathe and move and have our being. And that one mind is God, perfect, whole, complete, filled with ease, flow, and grace. And the one mind, God, is beauty and love and perfection and kindness and wholeness. And as God is all these things and so much more, so am I and so is everyone. It can be no other way because there is only the one and I am part of it and so is everyone else. And as I speak my word into the law, knowing it is done for the best and highest good, this one mind, this thought, the thought of the one mind is in my consciousness, and anything unlike the one mind leaves my consciousness and goes back into the universe from where it came. As I know and affirm that the one mind or God is this beauty and love and peace and kindness, and I know and affirm and I anchor myself in the one mind, now and forever as an eternal being. And so I send blessings and light to any people of the world struggling. And I send blessings to our own congregation, Reverend Dr. Sherry, all involved in this church. And I bless today's service, knowing it unfolds perfectly, that everything that's said and heard here just flows perfectly. And I give great thanks for the immediate manifestation of this prayer and release my word into the law that only says yes. And I'd like to introduce our musical inspiration for today, Esther Nicholson.
everything must changed. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. No one and nothing goes unchanged. The young become the old. Mysteries will unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. No one and nothing goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal. I know what I'm talking about, but never much too soon. No one and nothing goes unchanged. The young become the old. Mysteries, I promise you they will unfold. 'Cause that's the way
Wow, wow, wow. Let's take a deep breath together. Thank you so much, Esther Nicholson. It is so wonderful to have you here with us and to have your beautiful voice and your beautiful music as our inspiration this morning. Everything must change. Let's take a breath on that. Yes, we are talking this month about eyes on the prize. And this morning, my topic is Be Thou My Vision. Be Thou My Vision. Be Thou My Vision. And you know what? When we are inviting God to be our vision, then knowing that vision is the ability to see, then we know that we're in good hands. When we're inviting God to be our vision, then we know that we can move forward with ease and with grace and with peace, move forward in faith and in trust. And you know, as I was listening to the song, I was thinking that, and we move forward with guidance, and I was thinking that the only two things that we are always in the middle of is change and guidance. We're always in the middle of change and guidance. Oh, think about it, always in the middle of change, and we're always in the middle of guidance. And the really odd thing is we don't recognize either until after the fact. As we're going through it, you know, we know something is going on, but we're not sure what it is, particularly when it comes to change. But we recognize change after it happens, after it has begun. We recognize guidance after the fact. We can look back and see that, this was guidance all along. I was being guided all along. And that's why it is so important for us to really know that it is God's vision. It is God's vision that we want. It is God's vision that we want to lead us. It is God's vision that we want to guide us. It is God's vision that is always seeing rightly, seeing exactly where to go, how to do, what to do, where, and all that. All those answers are always right there because God already knows. Because God already knows what's in store for our lives. God already knows everything that needs to be known. And so rather than using our own blurred vision, our own vision that is blurred by everyday circumstances, by experiences, by our past, by whatever may be going on in our lives, by whatever we may be experiencing, loss or chaos or whatever the case may be, that creates blurred vision for each one of us. But God's vision is always clear. God's vision is always the only vision that is. And that's the vision that we want to be guiding us along. And so I'm inviting us today to really, really move into that place of total trust and total surrender, where we can do one thing. Number one is just let your morning mantra be, when you open your eyes after you say, thank you, God, is be thou my vision this day. Be thou my vision this day. Be thou my vision this day. Because what you're saying is you're seeing for me, see for me this day. I can't see for myself, see for me this day. Because I know when God is seeing for me, then I'm being guided, I'm being directed, I'm being shown the way, I'm being protected. Everything is taken care of. But when I turn it over and say, be thou my vision this day, then that means that we're willing to just open up and just allow the day to unfold, just allow God's guidance to unfold, just allow us to be moved in the direction that we need to go, doing the things that we're supposed to do, without fear, without concern, but certainly with trust, with total surrender. Because, you know, when I think about vision and allowing God to be our vision and allowing God to see for us, I think about, I've talked about Jake Olson before, the young man who wrote the book, Open Your Eyes, when he was 16 years old, and he was a championship golfer, and then he later became a football player. And I won't even talk about the football, the football aspect of his career right now. So, but just to remind us that he allowed God to be his vision, because he knew that he walked by faith and not by sight. And his faith was in God. He allowed God to be his vision. So he became a championship golfer, and then he became a football player, a college and professional football player. And so with that, that's what our lives can look like when we really turn it over. When we really turn it over and decide to just allow God to be my vision this day. Allow God to be my vision this day. And so I'm asking you, I'm inviting you, I'm encouraging you to start your day with, be thou my vision this day. And then fasten your seatbelts, because you don't know what that's going to look like. You don't know what that's going to look like because you're taking your hands off the controls that you thought you had. And you're allowing yourself to be guided. You're allowing yourself to be directed. You're allowing yourself to be led in the direction that you should go. And you have to trust to do that. It's like if you didn't have sight and you were using a service dog, once you hold the leash, then you are allowing yourself to be guided. You're allowing yourself to be led. You're allowing yourself to be directed, and you're trusting. You have to trust. If you didn't have the dog, if someone else was helping you, if someone were guiding you with holding onto your arm, or you holding onto theirs, just imagine yourself being blindfolded and allowing someone to lead you. That takes trust. And for any person or any living being on this plane, we certainly, if we trust them enough to guide us, certainly we have to trust the all-seeing eye of God to guide us, to lead us forward. And so I'm inviting us, first and foremost, start your day with be thou my vision this day. Be thou my vision this day. And take a breath and say it again. Be thou my vision this day. And then open your heart and open your mind and release fear and release doubt and release chaos and release drama and release all the stuff that would hold us back and that would blur our vision, because we don't have to use our own. We don't have to use our own. We're letting go of our own to the greater, to the greater. Be thou my vision this day. And then the second thing I'm going to invite you to do is do not let present circumstances rob you of the vision. Don't let present circumstances rob you of the vision, because everything must change. Everything is always changing. Everything changes. Don't let present circumstances rob you of the vision, because whatever's going on now is just temporary. It's transitory. It's changing. When you have made the commitment saying, be thou my vision this day, then you are trusting, and then you are whatever comes up in the present moment, you just move right on through it. You just keep moving right on through it, because you're allowing that greater power, that all-seeing power, that all-knowing power, that divine intelligence, you are allowing that. You're allowing that to guide you. You're allowing that to direct you. You're allowing that to see for you. And so don't allow present circumstances. Just trust and follow the guidance that you're getting. Trust and follow the guidance that you're getting. You know, as I'm talking about this, I'm reminded of years ago when I first left Cleveland, Ohio. I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio. And after a little over a year being there, I had decided that this wasn't the place I needed to be. A very traumatic event, very traumatic times in our lives had happened, and Cheryl had moved with me, and we were going to move. We had a Saturday night family meeting, and we were going to move back to Cleveland. And so we talked about moving back to Cleveland, and I told her, okay, we're going to move back to Cleveland. We just start preparing to do that. And I went to sleep, and when I woke up the next morning, this was in February, the sun was so bright, it coming through my window, that I thought I was in California. So I was lying there in bed wondering, how did I get to California? And I realized that I was still in Cincinnati, but it had been so dark and dreary for weeks that I didn't recognize sunshine when it came through. So this must be California. And so I made the decision right that moment, we're going to move to California. And so when Cheryl got up and came into the room in the living room where I was, I said to her, we're moving to California. And she said, what happened? When I went to sleep last night, we were moving back to Cleveland. And I said, yeah, but now we're going to move to California. So, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go through California and then we'll come back to Cleveland if that doesn't work out. And so then I started planning to move to California. No idea where or why or how or whatever. I just knew that there was this urge to move to California. And so I started making plans to move to California. I got movers and packers and all that, and they wanted to know where was I moving to. I had no idea. I knew I was moving to Los Angeles, but I had no idea where I was going to live, where I was going to work, nothing. I just knew that it was time to move to California. And so when I engaged the movers, they were very reluctant to have a contract with me because I didn't have an address to move to. I didn't have employment. I didn't have anything except the desire to move to California. But I convinced them to enter this contract. And I said to them, if you pick up my things and move them across country, by the time you get there, I'll have a place to live and I'll have an address for you. And, that was just the way that I did things at that time and probably still do. And I just allowed myself to trust. I knew that I was supposed to move to California. I knew that present circumstances didn't indicate that that was a smart move to make at that time, particularly where we were in our lives at that time and with things that had happened in our lives at that time. The thing to do would have been to move back to Cleveland, where it was safe, back to Cleveland where we had friends, back to Cleveland where we had family, back to Cleveland where Cheryl had grown up. But, Spirit was guiding me, was directing me to move to California, to the unknown, having no idea what I was going to do, where I was going to go, where I was going to live or whatever. And, I moved to California. But the week before I moved, before my moving date, I had a cousin who lived there and we were in touch periodically. And she called me and said, you know what? I just passed this place in Monterey, California, this new, not Monterey, I'm sorry, the name of the apartment was Monterey Park Apartments. But she said, I just passed this place where these new apartments are going up and I went in and it looks like a place that you would love to live. And I went in and I talked to someone and the manager wants to talk with you. And I talked to that manager on the phone. We made all the arrangements. She described the apartments to me. I said, yes, that's where I'd like to live. And we did the contract over the phone. I then was able to call the mover and give them an address to deliver my property to, and all that just out of the clear. And I hadn't talked to my cousin in a long time, except to let her know that I was going to be moving to California. But we hadn't had a conversation, but she just decided to be out riding and she rode by this place that she saw. That was a perfect place for me to live. So within that time frame, I was able to move right into that perfect place for me, right into that perfect place that I was supposed to be. And you know what? That was because God's vision, that was God's vision guiding me. God was being my vision. I could not have seen my way. I could not have seen my way with all the present circumstances, all the things that were going on, all the chaos that was going on, all the trauma that had happened in our lives at that time. I could not have seen my way clear to make that move. However, God knew what was in store for me. God already knew. I was in the middle of change. I was in the midst of change. I was in the midst of guidance, just moving to Cincinnati and just waking up in the morning and thinking I was in California. I was in the midst of change and I was in the midst of guidance at the same time. And so I made the move to California, and then the rest is history. Then I went to Agape, then I became a practitioner, but long before I went to Agape, I went to other religious science churches, but went to Agape, became a religious science practitioner and stayed there. And then we moved back to Cleveland. But by that time, 10 years had passed. And just allowing God's vision, allowing God to be my vision, allowing God's vision to unfold while God was being my vision was perfect for me. That was a perfect solution. And so that's what I'm asking you to do. God's vision is unfolding when we say, be thou my vision. See for me, and then allow your vision to come through and live the life that you have created for me. Live the life that I was created to live. And that's what we are saying when we say, be thou my vision, and then not allowing present circumstances, not allowing challenges that come up, not allowing those challenges that come up to dictate how we're going to live our lives, to dictate our trust factor, to dictate our faith factor. We just take a deep breath and we trust, and we take a deep breath and we trust. And we sometimes take a big old deep breath and we trust, and we keep walking forward, knowing that God is our vision and allowing God to be our vision, allowing God to be our vision. Because when we're saying, be thou my vision this day, we're saying that, yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. That's what we're saying. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thou art guiding me. Thou art directing me. Thou art my vision. And that's what I'm trusting, that thou art my vision. And so be thou my vision this day, oh God. Be thou my vision this day, and then stay focused on that without allowing other things that come up to interfere, without allowing other things that come up to interfere. Because sometimes when those challenges come up and those things come up, those are calls from beyond. Those are calls from beyond. It reminds me of Rumi's The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every day a new arrival, a joy, a meanness, a depression, some momentary awareness. Some momentary awareness comes unexpectedly. And he says, welcome them all. Welcome them all, even though there may be a crowd of sorrows that sweeps your house clean of all its furniture. Welcome them all. Welcome them all. Because there may be a guide that was sent to you from beyond. There may be a guide that was sent to you from beyond. So no matter what it is, this being human is a guest house. Every day a new arrival. We don't know what every day is going to bring. There's going to be something different every day. But we welcome them all. There's something unexpected happens every day. We don't know what it is. But with God as our vision, we're still moving forward. We're still going forward. We're still going through our lives. And so that's what I'm inviting you to do. Be thou my vision this day is your mantra for your life. And then don't let present circumstances rob you of the vision. Rob you of the vision. And then the third thing is stay focused on the goodness of life. Stay focused on the goodness of life. Know that life is good. Life is good despite appearances, despite things that we may see, despite things that may be going on. Life is good. And so stay focused on the goodness of life and stay focused on the fact that life is for us, never against us. Life is for us, never against us. And so trusting in life itself, trusting in God itself, helps us to continue to move forward, to continue to put one foot in front of the other, to continue to be in that place of transformation, to be in that place of transformation where we are constantly expanding, constantly growing, constantly becoming what we were created to be, constantly living our very best lives, constantly living our very best lives. This is what we get a chance to do when we can trust enough to say, be thou my vision, oh God. I trust you. I am trusting you. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. But I know that you know. I know that God knows. And so that's what we are saying in our lives this day. That's what we're saying for Creative Living Fellowship this day. As a community, we are saying, be thou my vision this day. Each and every day, be thou my vision this day as we move forward. Guide my path. Order my steps. Direct me in the way that I should go. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Be thou my vision this day. And then open our hearts, open our minds, and recognize that the life is good and the goodness of life is always, always, always revealing itself, because we're always returning. We're always returning to the source of our being. Ernest Holmes says that science of mind conspires to take us back through the caverns of our dark thoughts to the source of our being. That the science of mind conspires to take us back through the caverns of our dim and dark thoughts to dim and dark thinking to the source of our being. That's what science of mind does for us. It takes us back through that old dim and dark thinking to the source of our being. This is how we get back to the source of our being, knowing that when we can change our thinking, we can change our lives. And when we can recognize that God is the source of our being, the only source of our being, and continuing to go back to our source, get back to our source, that everything is made new. And so when we are saying, be thou my vision, everything is made new. And we are recognizing that everything is made new. And we are accepting in our hearts and in our minds that everything is made new. We're saying, yes, God, thank you. Yes, God, thank you. Be thou my vision this day. So let's just take a breath and just turn within in this moment. Just turning within to that one source, that one power, that one mind, that one life, that one breath, that one activity, that one that we know is God, that one that is the prize on which we keep our eyes, that one power, that one mind, that one that I choose to call God, but by any other name, it is our source, the source of my being. It is that within which I live and move and have my being. It is that within which we all live and move and have our being. And it lives and it moves and has its being in each one of us. And so just knowing that this one source, this one power is my vision. It is the vision of each of us this day. We throw ourselves wide open and just say yes. Yes to oneness. Yes to the fact that we can never be separate from it, and knowing this truth, that it is our very life. I'm speaking this word right here and right now for each of us, a word of healing. Healing our sense of separation, whatever that may look like. Healing our sense of separation from God in every aspect of our lives, every aspect of our being. Healing our sense of separation so that we show up as whole beings, as perfect beings, as complete beings. So that we're having healing in our body temples and in our bodies of affairs. So that we're experiencing abundance and prosperity. It's all needs met. So that we're experiencing love and peace and joy and harmony and balance. And forgiveness and compassion. We'll be experiencing all the qualities of God in our lives, as our lives. And we release and let go of all those things that don't serve. We release and let go of anything that would hinder, anything that would keep us feeling separate. By this word that's being spoken here and right now, I know that we release and let go and open up to that healing presence of God that is always moving in and through and as our lives. For each one of us, this is a truth that I know. So as I open this circle of prayer, I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak their names now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each person is, guiding, directing, protecting, caring for, lifting up, loving, comforting, healing every aspect of our being where there needs to be healing. This word goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that God is in the midst of everything, every situation, every circumstance. God is in the midst of everything. This word goes out to our government officials, just knowing that decisions are being made for the highest and best, for all concerned. That there's a releasing of division, there's a releasing of divisiveness, there's a releasing of apparent separateness, and unity is beginning to reveal itself. Wholeness is beginning to reveal itself in the minds and in the hearts of us all. And so I just simply say, thank you, Father, Mother God, for this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this word that's spoken here this day. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for the perfect manifestation of this word that's spoken here this day. I know indeed that all is well. I know indeed that all is God. I know indeed that we all allow God to be our vision this day and each and every day. For this, I give great thanks. And I simply allow it to be. And so it is.
Thank you. By giving of our tithes and offerings. CLF is a tithing church. We invite you to join in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. Click on the donate link in our website or in the comments on Zoom or on Facebook. You can also use your smartphone to text to give. We appreciate your continued financial support of CLF. Let us now repeat our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. And now let's welcome back wonderful, wonderful singer, Esther Nicholson, for our offering song.
There's a new world on the horizon, made of light, not of stone, calling out We are one heart, one soul, one dream we share together. We are all a part. Let me hear you say, we are one heart. We're looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part. We are all a part. We are all a part of one heart. Yes, we are. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. Yeah. Said we're doing this thing together. Said we're dreaming the same dream. Yes, we are. One heart, one mind, one soul. One heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart, one mind. See, during this time, this is what we gotta do. Love a little better, hug a little closer, dig a little deeper. We are one heart, one mind. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart, one mind, one soul. We are one heart. Yes, we are. We are. Yeah. Loving a little deeper. Hug a little closer. Say we are all a part. Ooh. We are all a part. We are all a part of one heart.
Wow. I just love the way God works things out. I didn't know, I hadn't heard her sing that song. And this brings us right into this part of our service where we're going to be welcoming our new members into this one heart that is the Creative Living Fellowship community. This one heart, this one mind, there's only one mind, of course. And so we are welcoming in our new members right here into this one heart that is known as a Creative Living Fellowship community. We have 2 brand new members to welcome in, and we have 1 reactivating member to welcome in. And as I introduce them, Nicole is going to spotlight them, and I'm going to invite each of you to give them applause, a round of applause, a virtual hug, a standing ovation, whatever it is you want to give them as you welcome them in. And 2 are brand new members, and 1 is a reactivating member, as I said. And so the first new member is Tony Farah, and they're there together. And then there's Karen Gridley. And so we welcome you and we thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you become a part of the Creative Living Fellowship community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our reactivating member is Krista Luke, who could not be with us this morning. She texted me earlier today. She's not feeling well and she's not with us today. However, we're holding her in our hearts, in our minds, and of course, in our prayers. Krista, we love you. We miss you. We're sorry you couldn't be here today. And we know that we'll see you real soon. So let us just all come together now and just say our covenant for our spiritual home together. Let's take a deep breath as we just read this together. a spiritual covenant to my home. Creative Living Fellowship is composed of people just like me. It is friendly as I am friendly. It is of great service as I serve. It flourishes and prospers and makes generous gifts as I am generous. It brings others into fellowship as I bring them. It is a center of love, light, and truth, as I, who make it what it is, am filled with these. Therefore, I dedicate myself to the task of being all these things my spiritual home is. Let's just breathe that in. Thank you all very much. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome to Tony and to Karen, and welcome back to Krista. God bless. So I just have a couple of closing announcements. We just take a breath here together. Just remembering that today is our Community Visioning Day. I'm just so excited about it. I don't know what to do. I get excited when I know that we're coming together to vision, to throw ourselves wide open to being that place and space through which God's vision can be revealed. It's a vision of itself as Creative Living Fellowships. So I invite you all to join us for the visioning today. Take responsibility, take ownership of this community to be that place and space through which God can reveal itself and its vision for each one of us and for this community. So that's happening today. No fellowship today, as Nicole said in the announcements. I'm reminding you that the Monday evening practice, Monday practice with Reverend Jorge. I was getting my days mixed up. Monday practice with Reverend Jorge is Monday evening from 6:30 to 7. And it is really a great, great time. So I invite you to add that to your spiritual practice and join Reverend Jorge on Monday evenings. It's just a half an hour, and it's a yummy half hour of time that we spend with him on Monday evenings. Tuesday evening, of course, is our community connection time. You have that time with me, and I look forward to seeing you there. This week we are doing conscious communication, and that is wonderful, a wonderful time for us to come together and talk and talk and talk. I look forward to seeing you from 6:30 to 7:45. The book study, that's what I was getting my days mixed up about. The Ernest Holmes book study. The Ernest Holmes book study starts back on Saturday morning, September 25th, and it's from 10 to 12. And the new book is Know Yourself. Know Yourself, of course, it's by Ernest Holmes. It's Ernest Holmes book study. So join us for that on Saturday mornings from 10:30. It's a drop-in group, so you can join us from 10 to 12. If I said 10:30, I made a mistake. It's 10 to 12 on Saturday morning with Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, who's facilitating that. The Zoom prayer room is open today before the visioning, so you can zip right in there and get prayer with the practitioner. And if you can't get into the Zoom prayer room this morning, don't forget that practitioners are available, on-call practitioners. You can get their names from the comments on our website, and they are available 24/7. So you can get a prayer with the practitioner anytime. And of course, you can always send an email prayer request to the practitioner core. They pray over your prayer request for 30 days. So you don't have to walk around with a heavy heart, because practitioners are waiting and available to pray with you and for you. So the next thing is to remind you to pray the prayer of supply, the treatment for supply. That is our community prayer, and we continue to use it every day, twice a day, sometimes more if we want to or need to, because it really works. So I invite you to continue to use that. And of course, I'm always inviting you to connect with each other, to remember each other, to reach out to each other, with those phone calls, those letters, those text messages, however it is you connect with each other, just to say, I love you, I miss you, I'll see you soon. And so that's what I'm saying to each of you. I love you, I miss you, can't wait to see you in person, but I'm so happy to see you on Zoom whenever I get a chance to connect with you. And so till then, take good care of yourselves, be blessed. Here's our closing song, I release.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm all